Heyo, this is FirePitChilling. My name is Gucci, and I wear 3 different pairs of shoes. Here we got Julian, the buff man of the group.
They ain't kicked me out yet.
We got Jeff, the animal expert of the group.
Hey.
And we got Ernie, the bearded enthusiast of the group.
Heyo.
Heyo. So today we have the topic, an interesting topic of what's a problem looking back now is almost laughably inconsequential. So I know I have one, but let's go ahead and start it with Julian.
Okay. All right. Looking back now, I mean, I'm working in I'm working in my career right now. I'm at a point in my life, relationship-wise, where, I'm engaged and things are just kind of moving in my life. And I honestly talk about this a lot with my fiance. We like to look back, and I think just how it's not so much a singular problem I had. It was more of just walking through the hallways of high school or just being in high school. I was always afraid of the deans. Anything and everything I did or would do was like I could get detention, or they could give me. I don't even remember what they did. Did they give you like a slip or something?
I think he got a slip.
Something.
Right?
I don't know.
Ernie got a bunch of them, so he would know.
Yeah.
Every weekend I was at detention.
Yeah, so I was scared to death about that kind of stuff. But looking back now, I mean, considering what I'm doing now, I work in law enforcement, and just the stakes are just so much higher. And I look back and I'm like, I could have sat in a classroom over the weekend. Like, that was the thing I was scared of, where I was scared of these people who were older than me. And, I'm dealing with people who, in terms of like a hierarchy in, the law enforcement, just in general, like they're up there. These are like captains, lieutenants who talk down to me, and I talk to them, and I have to approach them. And like thinking back to when I was in high school, I would have like pissed myself if I had to do anything like that. Like having to talk to the deans, even if it was for something not bad, because sometimes you'd have to talk to deans for some reason, right? I remember having to go to the dean's office for other things than being in trouble.
I don't remember doing that ever, actually, but I know what you're talking about.
Right, I can't remember exactly.
I think because you were involved in more.
Yeah, because I was doing some extracurricular stuff, and I had to talk to deans and coordinate with them. But even then, I was like, I'd be a hot, sweaty mess because I'd be so nervous. Doing that now, I'd be made fun of and be a joke. Like there's a point where you just kind of, like, you just get past all that. And looking back, it's just funny. And my fiance would say probably the same thing. And also just all the dumb things that went with high school,
everything.
Yeah, your appearance, like how you came off to people, and to an extent, I think I am anyway, for sure, still like that. I still care about what people think, but to a much lesser extent than I did back then. I was always so hard on myself in high school and how I was perceived. Nowadays, I don't care as much, but I mean, I still put some effort into the way I look and how I present myself, but that's just because that's who I am. It's not so much of me like, oh, I really hope that guy over there who I'm never going to talk to or see in my life, gets a good first impression. I do try giving off a good impression, first good impression, but it's not up there on my list anymore. I don't have anxiety over it like I used to. So I'd say like that, deans, and just how you were looked at in high school.
Did you ever get detention?
Hell no, are you
All 4 years?
Not once, come on, man.
Detention? No, I never got detention.
Come on, throw me a Saturday morning. Come on,
never
not
got
once.
detention.
Wow,
Not
okay.
once, all 4 years?
Never. I never went to detention.
Same,
I did
but
get
I got
referral.
the slip.
I got a referral in 8th grade.
Oh, I got a referral, bro, in
I got a referral in 8th grade. And
I
it
think
was
6th grade or 7th grade. I got one.
You're
One of
bad,
those.
man.
For what?
Do you remember this, Jules, when I got one with a couple other guys for
No,
like running out of the gate and touching the street? Do you remember that?
No, I don't remember.
Dude, so yeah, I'm just gonna tell this quick story, but and I forget what it is, man. I think it was 6th or 7th grade, and we had a car line, and the gate was open in the morning for parents to drop off the kids, whatever. And then our recess is at, let's say recess is at like 9 o'clock or something. I don't know. Anyway,
Okay.
The gate would still be open, and I remember I was walking with 2 other guys. It was Chris and Randy, and I was like, dude, that gate's open. And then they're like, oh, yeah, it is. And I was like, why is it open? We could just run outside. They're like, yeah, dude, you should do it, totally. And then we were just all messing around about that. And then I went to get water. And then I came back and I ran and I touched the sidewalk and came back. I was the first one to do it. And then it sparked this game and we all just started running and touching the sidewalk. And Christian went across the street, across the mailbox.
Damn.
And then apparently, yeah, I was in 6th grade when this happened because a couple 8th graders saw and they told on us. And then the principal came and she's like, you know, a couple responsible 8th graders told us that you guys, and I was like, in my head, I was like, are you kidding me? Like, you guys tattled on us for that? That was pretty heavy back in the day. I was like, dang, man.
No, referrals were like, that was a death sentence back.
I got a conduct referral, bro.
Oh.
There was like 2 sets of referrals. There was like the normal referral,
Oh.
and there was a conduct referral. That was like the maximum. And I remember that was the only referral I got in middle school, and it was the maximum.
That's funny. So
I was pretty bummed about
You got
it.
the maximum for that?
Yeah.
Because I got a regular referral in 8th grade, and it's because I wrote on a note. So I was, like when we pass notes around with a piece of paper.
Of course.
And for some reason, the person who last had it threw it in the trash.
Nice.
But he didn't crumple it, and he left it just kind of open. And like my name, for some reason, was like someone had written my name in the note. Because usually you'll just put like your first initial or like something, or you don't even write a name at all because you pass it between 2 or 3 people. You know who's writing.
Yeah.
I referred to one of the teachers as a bitch in the note. Like it clearly said,
Nice.
bitch. Like she's such a bitch on it. And they got hold of it. They got to me.
And you got a referral for that. You didn't get a conduct.
I didn't get a conduct though. That's the thing. I didn't think.
Straight up. Wow. Okay.
I thought yours was a lot lesser than mine.
Dude, mine was pretty whack.
So.
But what if he got ran over?
That's true, Jeff.
Yeah, but here's I guess the bigger thing, not ran over, because I honestly didn't touch the street. I touched the sidewalk. But what if I got abducted? That's, I guess, different. But here's the thing. Why is the gate still open?
Yeah, staff.
Yeah, like they get mad at us. Well, why'd you leave the gate open? Are you really that lazy to just close the gate?
Was staff in charge of Coloda's?
I don't know who was in charge of it, but I just know the gate was always consistently open. After that day, it was hardly open, but guess what? It was still open occasionally because I would look at it.
8th graders were in charge of the gate.
It wasn't. It was either parent volunteers or it was the nurse or someone that doesn't do anything. I guarantee. Shout out.
Shade at the nurse.
A little bit of shade. What do they do except sit there all day?
You know, I learned that
and give you a Band-Aid.
They actually have like they're specialized nurses.
Oh,
they actually
I take it back.
But it's like but for that reason, because like what do they really do?
Except give you Vaseline when you have a bloody nose, and then give you a Band-Aid when you get a cut.
That's
and then call your parents.
Yeah,
I'm not feeling well. What's wrong? I don't know. I just want to go home. Okay, let me call your parents.
Exactly. Yeah. So, all right.
That was a tangent.
Ton of referrals.
Yeah?
I had detention.
This dude was the baddest dude. Ernie was always getting referrals, always getting attention.
But it was the stupidest reasons. It was for being late to PE. For showing up late to school, which wasn't my fault. I carpooled. So I had to be picked up.
That's why.
Yeah, that sucks.
Or what? Referrals for not doing my homework.
Well,
hey, that's on you.
You get referrals for that?
Yeah.
Oh.
But
yeah, we didn't get anything for that actually.
But I did it a lot, so it got to the point where they would speak to my parents.
What'd your parents say? Why you telling me? Tell him.
I'm mad.
Yeah.
In sophomore year, my Spanish teacher called my mom like 3 times during class.
Why?
It's 'cause I don't know. I was talking or stupid stuff.
See, here's the thing, because you say it with such ease, like you were just talking and she called your parents, but like, come on, like it had to be pretty bad if she called your parents in class.
3
you know what I mean? Multiple times. Like, were you really just talking? I'm just curious, because
yeah,
I used to talk in class all the
Adrian,
time.
And I would just sit there. We'd talk during her lectures or during classwork time, and she moved us like 3 different times. But we ended up sitting together every single time.
Nice.
Smart.
Because one of us got moved first, and then the other one got moved. So it was fine. His mom called like 3 times too.
I just don't, like, why are you so severe?
That's pretty
Just
harsh.
relax. And these classes are how long at the time? Actually, those are pretty long classes, huh? Like over an hour.
Yeah, like 90 minutes. The block
Man.
periods.
I'm trying to think who he had without him saying who he had.
Had Cardona.
Oh, okay, never mind. All right.
So you were a bad kid.
I wasn't.
You just had a bad rap.
I didn't.
Well, I mean, like technically speaking, though, with the amount of referrals and detentions, you can consider that a bad rap.
Sure, but also,
I know, you know what I mean, yeah.
like, the deans knew me because of my brother.
Mm.
So they already like, oh, you're Steven's brother.
So you had a stigma.
Yeah.
Because my brother was quiet, so they didn't.
That's stigma.
And I was quiet too.
I
like,
had
what
that
are you
with the
gonna do?
counselors at Alamany. They knew me because of my sister.
Oh God.
Ah.
See, nobody knew me for nothing. Which is great.
Well, since you're talking, Ernie, what's your like thing that you, looking back, is just whatever?
Laughably inconsequential.
Yeah.
I mean,
Because I doubt you ever really cared about those detentions, right?
yeah, I didn't.
Yeah, see? I didn't really. Oh, I kind of cared.
But I mean, like, what's the worst that happened? I lost $5 because you have to pay $5, right, for detention.
Yeah, dude.
But I don't know, it just
Theft.
Now you're making that money.
I
I
guess
know.
prom was a big deal that I
Uh.
hated.
Yeah, for sure. Prom was the biggest deal.
Yeah.
But I mean, that just goes back with almost everything in high school. But I guess more recently it would be, I'm gonna say asking a girl out, cause
Yeah.
Okay.
you just like you dwell on their response so much. But at the end of the day, it's just a yes or no, right? And life
Yeah.
goes on if it's a no. Life goes on if it's a yes. But for that week, 2 weeks, month, or whatever that you're trying to decide, hey, should I ask this girl out? Does this girl like me? What should I do? And then after you do it, it sucks, but then life goes on, everything's fine. Like, there's no point of dwelling on it.
Yeah.
I agree. Because, yeah, no matter what, no matter the best day in your life, you're going to have a bad day. Excuse me. No matter what happens, you know, the sun's going to come up, come down, no matter what happens, everything keeps moving. That's just how life works. So, yeah, I agree. You dwell on things. And just to kind of bounce off that and what Julian said, because I agree with both you guys, especially with respect to, like, high school, because high school is a joke. I used to care about everything, and honestly, who cares? But that's because at the time, that really was, you know, the biggest deal. You know, like when a little kid trips and falls and they start crying on the playground, that they're crying because that's legitimately like one of the scariest things that's ever happened to them. If you're 5 years old, maybe not 5, let's say you're 3 years old and you trip and then they start crying and then the mom's laughing, you just pick them up and you cradle them. But that little kid is crying because that's like the most intense pain that he or she's experienced. And then going back to what Julian said, you know, freaking out over the deans, that's the most pressure that you experienced at the time.
Yeah.
So, in a way, it is laughable because, come on, what are they going to do? Like, give you detention? Who cares?
Yeah.
But at the time, that's heavy. You know what I mean? Like, your kid, Saturday morning, like, then you got to tell your mom because you're not driving home. Your parents got to drive you to detention.
Yep.
So, it sucks for them. They get mad, blah, blah, blah. But at the time, it is heavy, you know? That's how I see it.
Yeah, I think a lot of times too, with as you grow up, I think you guys can all attest to this. Watching TV, like movies, cartoons, all this stuff. Like, you growing up, you see high school as this next level.
Dude.
Like it's next
Sick,
level
bro.
stuff that like you cannot mess up. If you mess up, your life is over.
Best years of your life, dude.
Exactly. It's either the best years of your life or the worst, and it's all up to you. When really, it's just a stepping stone to other parts of your life.
Yeah, which
So.
in turn, everything we're doing currently, stepping stones. And even what you said, like with like asking a girl out, because I agree, dude. That's like the heaviest thing consistently, and that's been like that for years. But at the end of the day, it's just an honest question with hopefully an honest response. And then after that, regardless of the outcome, things move forward. That's just how this life works, and it applies to everything. And when I think of things like that, when I think of things like that, though, it's so, everything is so big on this minor scale. But when you look at things at the full scope, our whole life, everything about this life is so minute. And that really just kind of, for me personally, it makes me, I don't know, go crazy.
But it's funny because we're talking about this now. We know we shouldn't care about it. But the next time you ask a girl out, you're going to dwell on it. You're going to think about it.
Of course.
And it's going to be the same cycle over and over again.
Even as I said, none of this matters. It still matters. I'm still going to get annoyed when I play Overwatch later, and I'm still going to stress out next time I take a big test or something. But it's just because it's in the moment. Like, at least for me, what I think is that as we go on with these things, in our life, at the time, they really do matter. Just, it's all at the time. I don't know how to say that differently.
Yeah, no, I agree. But adding something, because I just thought of it, because you guys keep talking about like asking a girl out. Something I had the hardest time with growing up when I was a kid.
Oh God.
Into high school too, which is kind of embarrassing. I hated talking to my waiter or waitress. I hate, like whenever because like I was
you just say mom,
family,
yeah.
And they would ask, so what'd you want? I'd always look at my mom or my dad to order for me. I got so stressed out when I was younger talking to them. Because there's so many choices, I couldn't tell you. And I would just freeze up and act like an idiot.
That's so funny.
Looking back, I'm like, why?
I had that problem too. But that's just because I'm a low speaker. And they keep asking me, like, what did you say? What do you want? I'm just like, okay, I want to repeat myself like 3 times.
Yeah. Gucci stresses out about that currently.
Yeah, it's true. I always do. Every time.
Anytime there's food involved, like if the waiter or any question, I see this dude sweating.
That's a big deal, man. For the next 20, 30 minutes, you're eating that meal, so you better be good. You don't know.
Yeah.
You gotta deal with that person.
But in the grand scheme of things, it's one meal that if it's messed up, it's just a messed up one meal.
And in the grand scheme of things, like, none of this matters. Like, none of it.
But it still matters.
That's the thing. Day to day, it matters. But year to year, it doesn't. And then life to life, it doesn't. All right, I'll stop.
Man.
All right, what about you, Gooch?
One thing I thought was just laughably inconsequential was my parents leaving me. I always thought that whenever I didn't see them, they were going to just leave me somewhere. So if I couldn't see my dad, like, I would almost start crying.
Like, physically see him?
Yeah.
Like, if he wasn't in your eye line?
If he wasn't in my line of sight, I would start freaking out.
Okay.
So one time I went to the movies with all of my cousins. And my dad went to go get, like, popcorn and stuff because, he likes to get us, drinks and whatnot. And I was with all my cousins. I know all of them, but it was one of the first times I was out. And I freaked out and I ran out of the theater because I couldn't see him. And then I was just running up and down, like, everywhere in the theater trying to find him. And I found him at the concession stand. But I just thought, like, what if I couldn't find him? And then he was on his way back to the theater and, like, I was just running around by myself.
I think at that point your dad would have been like, where the hell did he go? And then he'd just go get you.
Did he get mad at you?
Yeah, because he's like, you could have gotten abducted or whatever. And I was like, no one was going to abduct me. I was a, chunky little kid. Like, nobody wants that.
Hey, man, you never know.
Oh, true.
Okay, all right.
But
It's getting dark.
I just think that's kind of almost just weird because now, fast forward maybe even like 5 years, I'm just like, get away, Dad. Get away, Mom. I don't want you guys anywhere, like near me when I hang out with my friends because you'll embarrass me.
Oh my goodness.
Shots fired.
These are shots.
And I'm just like, it's within like 5 years that mentality switches.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I was so dependent on that. I was like, it was almost weird. I was like, I don't want to ever leave their sight. And now I'm just kind of like, that's weird. That it only took that much time for me to just say, that's how I change my perspective on that. So I don't know if you guys have like similar things to where you're like, I need to see this person, or I need to, like, I need to know someone.
I was like that when I was a kid too. It was more with my aunt though, because my parents worked so much, so I had a live-in aunt. And so that I was definitely like that. So I never wanted to, like, to leave her side, or if she had to leave town or something, I would just be bawling. But this was when I was a kid, and it stuck with me when I was a little older. But it didn't hit me that hard. But I definitely sympathize with that, Gucci. That totally makes sense to me.
You know what's funny? That just reminded me of I was never really like that. Like, I was always whatever, who cares? I was pretty more laid back, but with the smallest mundane things, and this applies currently. Again, it doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things, but right now,
All right.
like if I want to, excuse me, if I have a question, like if I'm texting someone, like if I'm texting you,
Sure.
and I send you something, then that's it. If you reply, cool, and I'll just read it later. But if I have a question, like, I wonder if, like, I ask you a question, and then for some reason I just get, like, into it, like, man, like, has he seen this question yet? Or is he thinking about what's going on? And it would be something so small, like, dude, you want to grub later? Like, after work, hey, dude, I just got off. You want to get some grub? And then I'm sitting there like, dude, like, yes? No? Like, what are you waiting for? Or if I text one of my other friends, and I'll text her a question like, like, hey, have you seen this? 10 seconds later, like, man, I wonder if what's going on. Like, you start overthinking these small little texts, and it's nothing. It's just to the extreme, and it's just like what Gucci was saying, like, because it's not in the line of sight, like it's not in my vision.
Yeah.
If I don't see those 3 dots come up on iMessage, I'm like, dude, like, what's going on? Or worse, when you see the dots come up and disappear, and then you're like, shh, what did I do wrong, man? Like, you don't want to eat today?
That could be tricky, because if they're writing a lot, the 3 dots disappear.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I always thought that if you're writing and then you stop typing, if you write a long text message and then you stop to, like, spell check or something, do the dots go away like that, or do they stay there? But you're saying that as long as you're typing for a long time, the dots go away.
Yeah, because at a certain point, it doesn't do like a regular message. It's like an attachment.
Oh, I
because
see what you're
it's
saying.
too long.
Okay.
So then the dots just disappear.
Okay.
All right.
You
But
know
I
the
think if
stress.
you
I think
backspace-
everybody knows the stress when you see the
Absolutely.
dots disappear.
Because I think if you backspace and then you start again, it brings the 3 dots back.
Right.
Huh.
I recently had that, where it was a conversation I wanted to have in person,
Yeah.
because I didn't want to have that stress of just waiting.
And
for
it's
what they're
just
saying.
it happened to me earlier with something, and I can't even remember. It was something so small. Like, I was like, I want to tell you this funny story. And then no reply, and I was like, man, do you not want to hear this funny story? But at the end of the day, maybe just put your phone down. It's so funny to me that is consistently just laughable. But at the time, it's always like, dude, like, I'm stressing.
Yeah.
My dad does that 100%. Like, I kid you not. He's like, hey, update. He'll just say update. And it was a minute ago. And I'm getting my phone to, like, type out a message. And then I hear, it's him calling.
Oh, goodness.
And then he's like, hey, I don't know if you got my message. I was like, yeah, I'm trying to reply to it. But I guess I'll tell you now. He's like, no, just text me, and then hangs up.
Okay.
But when that happens, when they don't reply right away, do you feel less inclined to text them like another time? Or is it the same?
I guess it just depends on the person.
It really does depend on the person.
I know that's a cop-out answer, but it just, like, if I want to talk to if I don't want to talk to that person, I'll forget.
I will say this, because I am a bit of a piece of shit, is if it's like with a girl, I'm kind of like, oh, it's a game. It's this game.
Oh my god.
And it's like, okay, she wants me to wait 5 minutes for a reply. Fine. She can wait 5 minutes. And then I'm like, wait, no, I should do it immediately.
I feel like I'm so impatient that I just like, I just want to get it out. But
So what do you guys think about double texting? Like, if they don't reply, it's been like 20 minutes, do you send another text?
I only do that like I've done that before, but now I only do that if it's like, if I have something to add. Like, I'll send something like blah, blah, blah. And then 10 minutes later, oh, I just saw something cool. I'll just send it.
It's a
real
separate
quick.
subject.
Yeah, honestly.
As long as it doesn't tie into the first thing.
As for like double, like if they do that to
For a
me,
double text.
if I get that, I'll just go like, oh, another one. Hold on, I'm not ready to reply yet.
Another one. Yeah, I do double texting a lot too, but that's just mainly with my fiance, and
Here we go.
and that's just like
Just
kind
kidding.
of a rule we have where it's like, because we kind of established this early on where before we would just text a lot, and if we didn't hear back, we would just keep texting, And we're like, we can't do that. Because, like, sometimes we're just both busy. Or, like, if I'm doing something and she texts me, or vice versa. So we have this, like, I think it's like a 2 or 3 limit. So, like, if I text her, she doesn't get back to me. I'll text her again, hey, what's up? And she doesn't get back to me. I'll text her one more time. She doesn't get back to me. Okay, she's busy. She'll get back to me. Like, I don't have to worry.
Yeah.
And we do the same thing with phone calls. If I call her once, okay, she's like, oh, maybe she missed my call. Call her again. All right, she might be doing something, so then I'll just squash it, and then I'll hear back from her later.
So
But I don't know.
if you send that 4 text, is it like an emergency? I need you right now.
Well, we didn't really talk about that. I mean, I guess you can imply it is. Yeah, I guess, because, like, sometimes, like, she'll fall asleep, I'll fall asleep, and then, like, that 4th text will come out, and it's like, oh, shoot, yeah, like, now I'm going to be kind of worried. Like, I haven't heard from you. And sometimes it is legitimate. Like, I remember one time it happened, and I ended up texting her mom because like, her mom and I are really cool. I was like, hey, I haven't heard from so-and-so. Is, like, everything okay? And she's like, yeah, her phone died. She was doing this, and that. She didn't have the chance to tell you. So it was just that. But
It's always small.
it's always small, thankfully. Like, you never want it to be a big problem, because if it's a big problem, it's a problem. So that's the only case, really. But, I mean, with you guys, I think in the same vein as Jeff, like, if it's a new subject, or if I'm, like, waiting for, like, hey, are we doing something right now? I don't hear back. Question mark.
I was just gonna say with Julian though, if it's like, oh yeah, you want a carpool? I'll be like, I'll text him. You want a carpool? Yeah, dude, you gonna come by? 5 minutes later, Julian will text back, question mark, question mark, question mark, and I'll be like, oh yeah, my bad, dude. I'm just changing. Settle down. That's so funny.
Yeah.
Nothing pales in comparison to texting Gucci when he's asleep.
No, jeez, dude.
Well, we think he's dead sometimes.
We legitimately thought that this man is dead, and we're just trying to grub.
We have plans to hang out like at 2, and he'll text us back like at 6 saying, hey, I just woke up. Did I miss the plans? With like, I have 12 missed calls, like 24 text messages.
Yeah.
And
But he just
like,
says, oh, did I miss something? Like, get out of here,
Yeah,
man.
I don't read the thread that I missed. I don't read the. I don't look at my voice. I just recently set up a voicemail. That kind of changed things a little bit.
In what way? Because I feel like if I get a voicemail, I'm just like, why are you leaving a voicemail?
Oh, see, that's funny. I feel the exact opposite. If they leave a voicemail, I'm like, oh, it must be important.
Ugh, I'm just like, now I gotta listen to this and delete it.
But the iPhone has the transcribe thing, so it just has the whole voicemail written out now.
Oh,
Wait, really?
Yeah,
That's cool as hell.
what?
I'll check that out. I still have a bunch of voicemails.
but it also goes based off of their voice quality, so sometimes it like might not detect all
So,
their words.
so for
but-
Gucci, it would just be a bunch of squiggly lines. Yeah.
Or it'll just say, unable to transcribe.
Oh, all
Or
right,
yeah,
well,
the normal
You'll have
thing.
to listen to this one.
Alright, that's how I know whether to dodge work calls or not.
Hey.
If it says anything with "Can you come in?"
Can I just get one
Delete.
more on the double texting for Ernie and Gooch?
Yeah, yeah.
Ernie, what do you got on that?
It's funny because I have a friend, Ellie, where we have conversations, but we have like 6 or 7
I've
conversations
seen that. I'm
at
always
the
like, why do
same
you
time.
do this? Just send one message.
I don't know.
I asked him once. I was like, why don't you just send one message?
I used to just space them out or hit enter,
I do that usually.
but she
Well,
got me in the
sometimes.
habit of doing it. So she'll reply, she'll ask a question, she'll reply, and then I have to reply to each one individually.
I'll just dodge like 4 of those.
If they're like serious conversations, then she keeps harassing me about it. She's like, hey, why'd you dodge this question? And then it just gets to a weird thing.
Jeez.
All right.
And then you send with invisible ink.
So you pretty much your whole entire texting repertoire is double texting.
Well, with her, yeah.
Technically, yeah.
With everyone else, I like Gucci, I don't care. Most
Yeah,
of the
it's
time,
just-
he'll send me a stupid meme. And
Pretty
if I
bad.
don't- If I don't find it funny, then I won't reply. And he'll text me again. But if I do find it funny, I'll just write like, LOL, are you on PS? Or do you want to get lunch? Or something like that.
Nice.
I used to take it to heart when I wouldn't get a reply because
Oh,
I'm like,
you
oh
probably
man,
still do.
like, they don't think these are funny. But then what they'll tell me, like when we're on PlayStation or just in person, is like, I already saw that, or that was lame, and I wanted to tell you in person.
But I have no problem double texting you or Julian or.
Yeah, who cares?
Like if I don't really know the person, then I probably won't. I'll
Yeah,
just
I
wait.
agree with that. But if it's you guys, like I'll just be like, hey, wake up.
Yeah, exactly.
I have a question because I'm just socially awkward. There was a girl, I texted her happy birthday, and she texted me back, who is this? Like, didn't say thank you or anything, just said, who is this? And I just
Jeez.
never replied.
Good.
Like, what are you supposed to do with
I
that?
think exactly that.
I wouldn't reply either. Like at least I've gotten birthday text, and I don't have the number, but I just say thanks. Like thanks for
Exactly.
remembering.
I do the same exact
Why would
thing.
you ask who is this? Like get out of here. You self-entitled prick.
Okay, so that's
Hey,
Jesus.
hey, she's a theater friend.
hey,
You self-entitled prick.
yeah.
What
Okay,
was
I was
that,
just wondering.
What was that humble quote?
Oh man, how did that go? We saw the coolest quote today.
It's like, you're not that important.
Oh yeah, it's like don't be humble, you're not that important, or something like that. And it was great.
Nice.
I agree with that.
I was just wondering if I was maybe doing something wrong, but okay, cool.
No, you're totally in the right, Gooch.
So was that your only comment on double texting though? G-Man?
Not like I tend to try to be reasonable with my texting because I say maybe somebody's like taking a test or somebody's in an important like meeting or something like where they can't be at their phone or like their phone's vibrating. Because a lot of the people that I would text or need to text in theater, like we're on stage or we're like around performing, so our phone's going off. Like if we didn't have time to silence our phone or something, that could be affecting somebody on stage.
Okay.
So it's kind of like that courtesy of if they haven't replied to me or got back to me, then I wait like 10 or 15 minutes because that's roughly how long scenes take, like for school.
Okay.
So I also kind of just take into account, hey, did they say anything like they were going to be on break at this time? I'll text them that time. Or did they say that I get off work at this time? Or, because I just don't want to be a nuisance. Because I remember when I was working, I couldn't text because I was driving. And then when I was in the store, there was cameras everywhere. And I just didn't want to get caught texting in the store. So what I do is like after I deliver a pizza, I just respond like in front of the person's house and then drive off.
Okay.
I got good at like texting when I'm not supposed to in high school.
Yeah, I'm
Back in the
so
day.
impressed that you guys like actually do that.
I was too scared to take my phone out.
There we go. This
Yes.
guy, man.
I was afraid of the deans too.
Did you ever do the backpack on your desk?
No, that was so obvious.
Yeah, that was very obvious. That's what I'm asking though.
No.
for
Just-
the viewers still in high school, what's the backpack method?
Yeah, dude.
You just put your backpack on the desk, you open it, you put your phone inside, and
And
you
then-
pretend like you're
Like
looking for
something.
something.
Yeah.
And you
But,
text.
but
It's
big
so
pocket or
stupid.
little pocket? Big pocket or little pocket?
Little
Big
pocket. If
pocket.
it's a JanSport, oh really? I was gonna say the little JanSport with the 2 pockets. Sometimes I just do the little pocket,
The little
but I
pocket,
hardly
yeah.
did that. I would
I
just
don't
take
do
out
the
my
little
phone, and put it on my lap.
That one's more obvious. Because
The
then
lap?
why are both your hands in there?
Yeah.
That's
No, but what about the phone
that
on the
was
lap?
the dead giveaway, the little pocket.
What about the what?
The lap. Just you take out your phone, look down,
Yeah,
or just
that
put it
one-
on your lap.
It's so much quicker.
Yeah.
And then if someone tells you to put your phone away, you just put it away.
Okay.
Like, what's
Put it
the
in my
worst that
pocket,
can
and then when they turn around, you take it out again,
happen? Yeah, exactly.
and you finish the text.
Or what I do now is you just stack your books and just leave your phone
On the desk. Yeah.
on the desk, and they won't see it because it's covered by your binder or notebook or whatever.
Do you feel that professors should be able to take your phone away in a lecture?
Okay, that's
In college?
no.
Well,
That's
professors.
that's
not
so
teachers.
stupid. No.
No.
Joey and I had a class, and one time a professor was like, "Hey, get off your phone," and Joey was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, I'll do it." And he was still doing it, and she comes up, walks behind him, and he's like, "I'll take that now." And he's like, she just says, "You can get it back at the end of class." And this was in college.
That's so awkward.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't do that. I think it's more appropriate to tell him to leave. Like, hey, okay, you can use your phone, but just walk out the door. You can use your phone outside.
Yeah,
Like, I think that's more courteous of an adult.
High
Yeah,
school.
high school, it's like, yeah, give me your phone. You dumb
yeah,
kid.
it's high school, but in college,
But
nah.
hey, you
Get out of here.
20 plus year old, go outside. If you're gonna go text or
Yeah, like
fucking
just do it
phone.
outside.
Yeah.
Because there was another guy that got his phone caught, and he was trying to say like, I really need my phone right now. You know, like my grandma is having a birthday party, and then she just took the phone away.
Why would he need his phone? If his
Right?
grandma's
I don't
having a
know.
birthday party?
I don't know, man. Hey, again, in the grand scheme of things, no
Laughably
one needs their phone.
inconsequential, right? Wait, no.
Yeah,
Laughably
is that
consequential.
what we started?
I honestly, yeah, Jesus. Anyway,
Well, this was one heck of a ride, guys. So, wrapping things up, laughably inconsequential. What was your takeaway? Just
Drop
high
my
school in
paper.
general?
High school's
But-
stupid.
high school is absolutely ridiculously stupid.
It's dumb.
Yep.
All right. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Ernie. Thank you, Julian. This has been
Valid, you
FirePitChilling.
can't see it.
We'll see you in the next one.